Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto live stream. I hope all the settings are good. It's been a couple of days since we did our last live stream, but no, I think everything should be good. Let me just quickly check. We've been gone for 15 seconds. Yes, okay, all is good, all is good, all is good. By the way, for all of you checking it out here and coming along, there's no notification most of the time for these live streams, right? I do them random because there's some news that I just want to cover live instead of in a sort of video way, and that's basically why I do it. When exactly? Don't really know. I just do it arbitrarily, just every here and there I feel like it. So, yeah. If you're wondering what exactly you have missed, it's the talk about all of this. It's been rather interesting, and a lot of people are going back and forth on this one right now. But there's also a couple of other important pieces that we need to talk about today. Because man, oh man, have I been been bombarded over on Twitter for a lot of stuff. And by the way, guys, I just found something other that's pretty interesting. We'll talk about that in just a second too. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. Don't worry about it. Let me just quickly put it up here so we can talk about it in just a second. Because James Fillon, the defense lawyer, actually just posted something as well. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let us first discuss the Greenlist situation. Make sure you understand, I am pretty confused about all of this, but that's why I'm doing it live, so we can kind of go back and forward on this with what you guys think and what we can kind of conclude. All right, so I saw this thing on Twitter from Crypto Eddie. It shows Ripple/XLM. Can anyone solve this as I am lost? Virtual currencies, number of entities approved to use coin, updated July 1st, Department of Financial Services, New York State. This is all kind of trivia. Here is what she's talking about. So on that website, and I checked it out for myself, obviously, there's a little bit of a list, and apparently at one point or another, on the left here, it said Ripple, and on the right here, it said XLM. I'm not actually sure if that's in every single list. Maybe there's actually only one list, but all right, you get the idea. Now, she posted up, is that a problem / is that a error, or is that deliberate or elaborate? Now, my conclusion is this is just most likely a mistake, but very key part is that XLM and XRP to a certain degree are very, very similar. And a lot of people do not even know that, but they are. So, I mean, technology-wise, it's not really that different at all. But the point being, this list here is from New York. It is the official website, Department of Financial Services, and it here discusses the virtual currencies and number of entities approved to use the coin. You can see here digital asset abbreviation, listing, and custody, and basically if they are listing approved and custody approved, listing being what I'm thinking, right? That a financial service provider or a entity that has a business can list it and provide custodian services for it. Now, if we go to Ripple, well, we'll just ignore the XLM part because I think that's the mistake. Let's actually not go to Lumens, but to Ripple. And the more difficult part as well becomes in the fact that, you know, back in the day, XRP was called Ripple, and a lot of different platforms still refer to it as Ripple, that I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's just consider this to be Ripple. It says here that listing is 2. I'm not exactly sure what that's referring to, but in terms of custody, it is Greenlisted. And as far as my little analysis now has taken me, I believe that Greenlisted is basically the highest ranking that you can get, because, as I'm now assuming it, this entire list here, where Ripple is properly shown with XRP, also shows coins approved for custody, and this is from March. So they basically updated their list, but kind of backwards from a certain perspective, because they changed the XP to XLM by accident or purpose, as some of you guys might say. But yeah, basically here it says any entity licensed by the DFS, which is this platform here, Department of Financial Services, any entity licensed by DFS to conduct virtual currency business activity in New York may use coins on the green list for their approved purposes. Note that if a licensed entity decides to use a coin on the green list, it must inform the DFS prior to beginning its use. But this basically means, since it didn't change throughout these months, that XRP custody is still completely fine, which does bring me to an important question and point. Guys, haven't you thought about this one? So, why are exchanges like Coinbase so ridiculously scared to have it listed and to make money off of it? But if you're a custodian, you're still making money off of it. And if it's a security, is the problem like kind of the same thing though? Because you're helping these guys store it. I mean, you're not selling it to them directly, but you are making money off of quote unquote illegal securities, which is their big problem with listing it. Where I'm like, if that's a really big problem that you just don't want to be involved with the currency at all, then why provide custodian services for it? I mean, I get it's allowed in New York as an example. It is allowed, so why not? And the listing part isn't necessarily allowed just quite yet, but coins approved for listing doesn't even include XLM and Ethereum Classic either yet. You can definitely buy XLM on Coinbase. So from that perspective, it's not like they're adhering to that so much necessarily. And again, keep in mind, this is only the New York state. It's not everywhere, but it's like, all right, like, why and how does this all kind of tie together? I'm not here to make a conclusion for you guys, by the way. I was looking at this part first, for example, the guidance regarding adoption or listing of virtual currencies. And at the bottom right here, let's see, there's the process for how it gets there. But in the end of things, why does it matter how it gets there? Why does it? How does it matter when something gets the green listing or not? We only know that right now the XRP is greenlisted for custodian use, and I'm not exactly sure what this listing part means. It says number of entities approved to use coin, but so that means like 2 entities are approved for use of XRP. What does this number mean? I'm not exactly sure, and I haven't been able to figure it out. If you guys know, right now is your time to shine, all right? Right now is your time to shine. Brandon says, did they renew it, or is this from last year? As it currently stands, this says July 1st, 2021. So, there you go, my buddy. If it says right here that XRP/Ripple, let's call it like that, is greenlisted on that front, even though it says XLM, I think that's the glitch/mistake. I'm not exactly sure what this part means, though, in terms of listing, that it says 2. Because, no, I'm not sure. You're saying this is from 2020. I mean... what are we watching the same thing or no? Why are you guys saying it's from 2020? What's going on? This list said March 12th, 2021, and this one says July 1st, 2021. But 2 of you guys are saying it's from last year. I'm a little bit confused. Where do you get 2020 from at all? Did it show up somewhere and I missed it? And by the way, welcome to the freaking stream, everybody. I even forgot to say that. Welcome. We just started 7 minutes ago, so anybody watching right now is extremely early. We have a ton of stuff to cover. Marius says it's updated though, no worries. And Brett says it does show a 2020 date when you search for the article. Okay. I guess maybe what they just do is actually just post an article and then edit it every piece of, every so often. So, for example, this article was posted, let's say, the 1st of January 2020, but every 3 months, for example, or 4 months, pick something, I don't give a shit, they update it, or every 6 months. You know what I mean? That they just go inside this list and change these numbers around. We might even be able to check that. No, there is. Yeah, here we go. For example, you can see some additions were made. For example, some of these lists are eligible for green list on specific dates, and so it's definitely been updated because I believe this is the month, right? In the US, yes, there we go. This is the day. On these specific dates, these specific cryptos can actually get their green list. Huh? That is interesting. Okay. Let me quickly see what you guys are saying. Where are you guys actually from, by the way? I see a couple of people say you're from Dubai. Oh, that's Isa. Mohammed. I'll message you next time, Isa. No worries about it. Buenas noches from Spain. Welcome. Brandon says, interesting stuff on the list. Yeah, it is interesting to me. I'm not exactly sure what we could do with this, but the fact that I just find it peculiar how custodian solutions are completely fine, yet listing is so odd, and how this listing actually is taken into account in the broader scheme of things. Yet we can't really rule anything out, nor can we really conclude anything, except for the fact that it's peculiar and interesting. Okay, here's the June 2020. No, all is good, all is updated. Okay, let's actually move on with this piece that I just found as well from James Phelan, or Phelan, I don't know. Wow, look at the chat box, guys. The whole world is being represented in this chat box. I find it so amazing to see that. Some people say, please stop asking, but I can't, man. Whenever I see all those countries and all those cities and all those places, I get freaking excited to just know that there's so many people in different places of the world just sitting together here in this chat box. Gives me a little happy vibe. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels cool. All right, so James Filon posted, this is not the only case Judges Torres and Netburn have to work on. Statistics show that Judge Torres has almost 700 cases pending at any given time. Many of those are civil cases where there will be lots of motion practice, as in this case. So here's an example. XRP Army News posted on Twitter, to the attorneys in our XRP community, what the holy heck is taking so long? What exactly is Judge Netburn, I guess, doing? Seems like it's been a while since he decided anything. So, lawyers, what if anything is going on right now? Thanks. And here it also says, when a motion is filed, the other side gets to respond. It takes time for her to weigh both arguments and then applies the law in her ruling. Patience. To be honest with you guys, we have seen so freaking many back and forwards in this case. I mean, I know it's normal, but we've seen so many back and forwards, and just for me to read it takes a lot of time. Get that. I read almost all of them because, well, I like to, but it takes so much time just to read it. Then think about actually having to respond as a judge with your proper regulatory, how do you say it? Like law knowledge, basically. If my reading, it takes a little bit of time, her reading must take 4 times as much time because you need the details and all those case references and whatnot to see if they're actually true. I'm not sure exactly who supports her, like how many assistants such an individual have to, make sure everything is done properly. Because one thing that John Deaton, for example, said a little bit earlier is that the SEC, for example, was actually putting up a different narrative in one of their talks from earlier. Specifically, we had a hearing, I believe it was the 6th of April, but don't quote me on that one. It was a hearing basically from the SEC, Ripple, and the judge coming together, and they were talking about what exactly the SEC was alleging that Ripple did wrong. One thing being that they basically made the narrative that it's only Ripple's sales of XRP that were the bad actor. When John Deaton found out later that that's kind of a not necessarily a lie, but it's kind of keeping information back. It's something he didn't really like and didn't really respect. And what it basically came down to is that if the judge just took it at face value and didn't really investigate further or didn't look at the actual documents themselves, she could have been biased to a certain degree or have the wrong idea about what exactly is underlying or underneath. What I mean with that is that she has to check every single detail and every single part in great lengths and to a great degree. That I do understand that it takes a lot of time, and I will never tell a judge to hurry up or never be sad that it takes some time to investigate this type of stuff. Because this is the way that things go. Bureaucracy and getting a lawsuit of this extent. We're talking freaking more than $1 billion, okay? So then it takes a little bit of time. Just stick with the process, man. I mean, come on. We can't. All right, we have to just stick around and wait. You guys are saying Dusty changed the page. Sorry. I'm gone. Sorry for the GIF too long. I'm so sorry. Judge Torres also has many criminal cases, and under the Constitution, those take precedence. There are motions, hearings, trials, and sentencings in all of those cases too. And there's a backlog of all cases because the courts have been closed and on and off for the past year, which I find actually really odd. How can a court be closed? Even though there's a big pandemic going on, I mean, you can still do your work from inside your home, right? Specifically a court situation. I mean, the reading of all those motions and whatnot, I guess maybe just coming together in real life is obviously not working that easily, but the back end of things like reading all those documents shouldn't be that hard. And then finally, these judges work their asses off. I do get and respect that. You saw that when Judge Netburn issued a ruling on the Sunday before Memorial Day. I'm sure they are both trying hard to get things done right and quickly. Yeah, I do think so too. But done right comes before done quickly. We all have to have some patience. I mean, yeah, we got to give it to her, all right? If she really has 700 cases going on, I'm not sure if that's a lot or little because I'm not a judge and I don't have the proper knowledge to say. But that sounds to me like a really freaking chore, man. It also sounds to me like a really big problem to just kind of hold everything together if you have 700 cases pending. Yeah, if you're doing a couple of these things all at the same time, just reading them in the same day, must get kind of confusing, huh? Yeah, I'm not sure how they prioritize things, nor am I the guy to kind of quote on that, but it's interesting. And that's also maybe a reassurance if you're asking yourself why it's taken so long. Some might say it's all a show. Some might say it's something to kind of set the new world where crypto regulations are made. Some might say it's just a lawsuit. Ripple didn't really want this. Some might say right now they're actually taking all this time because I'm getting a text message. Let me turn the phone around, otherwise I'm gonna get distracted. Someone's saying that they're taking this time to actually discuss a settlement. I'm not going to feed you guys with all that stuff anymore, all right? I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, they might be discussing a settlement in the back. Even though they might be doing that right now in the background, I have no real proof for all of that, except for the fact that it's taken a long time. But even though they might be discussing a settlement, they could actually keep posting documents every single day, even though they're discussing that. So that's not really a big excuse, nor a real thing to, kind of hint upon or rely on, okay? I'm not going to tell you guys that. Sorry. If you wanted it, I'm so sorry, man. And again, for the same thing, I cannot tell you whether or not it's all a show. I cannot tell you guys whether or not Ripple was in all of this. I cannot tell you that they were, nor that they weren't. It's all just, we have to take it at face value. We cannot do anything else. What do you guys think about that? Let's actually ask a little bit of a poll here in the chat box. Let me do it. Do you think can you hear the keyboard really loud? XP lawsuit is all a show? Yes. No, it's legit. Let's ask. I'm gonna ask it in the chat box right now for you guys to vote really quickly. But Phil says both sides of people working on a settlement. That's part of the process. What I would like to say about that one is I think that a settlement is always in the discussion, where in the sense that they're always looking, of course, to come to the perfect agreement. Always, because if the agreement is proper, why not? Right? No party would not want to have it. From a different perspective. The question more so is that the main thing they're focusing on right now? Is there no way out? And are both sides too uncertain to win a summary judgment that they want to get out of this right now? And are they actually possible to come to a conclusion? In the specific sense here, are the terms that the SEC could put up, or vice versa, Ripple's terms, could they be agreeable to the other party? We do not know, but it's interesting. Chad says, buy anything that Jet has his hands in. The dude always gets away with everything. Chad, from a certain perspective, you have a good point. Jed McCallum, co-founder of Mt. Gox, co-founder of Ripple, co-founder of the XRP, I guess. I'm not sure if he actually, I guess he also co-created the ledger itself, and co-founder of Stellar, to just name a few. He most likely has a lot of other things. The guy knows how to work with money, all right? The guy knows how to get away with a lot of sketchy stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're very right about that one, man. That's pretty funny. All right, let's see what else we got here. Ooh, this was a little bit piece that I wanted to quickly cover in the live stream too, man. I got so frustrated reading this. I want you guys' opinion. So, I posted on Twitter, this is by far the dumbest title I have seen in a very good while. Hugo and Community Flare, look at this spreading of false information. Or, am I being crazy? Of course, I gotta kind of put up here like, maybe I am the crazy one. Maybe the title is completely logical and I'm an idiot. I'm going to always put that up front. However, Flare Community, the biggest source for the Flare news, has also agreed, saying, agree? Agreed, STBC. The author has certainly not done her research, as I'm sure you are aware, the initial supply of Flare is 100 billion. This is either lack of due diligence or a purposefully clickbait title. Either way, this media outlet has lost credibility in my eyes, and a lot of people here are saying it's most likely I'm not check. I guess they replied somewhere else, because I saw people talk about clickbait basically, but I'm not finding it right now. If we check out the article itself, it really got my blood pumping a little bit because it's so dumb. So, Flare sets out the plan for a 200 billion Spark token distribution to XRP holders. Now, of course, this is the dumbest thing out there because where exactly does she get 200 billion from? Nowhere, because it's not the truth. It makes absolutely no sense. So this is either because they wanted to get attention in some way, shape, or form. I mean, they're called Ripple News, yet they're doing the Ripple News wrong. Maybe they just want to get some attention for their site, which they now got. Maybe they don't care about the news being good. They just want news, maybe whatever. But I think, guys, if you ever read an article from this website again, know that maybe they're not the most credible source because of the article we just saw, right? So think about that twice. Whenever we go over articles, I most of the time also add some log. Like, for example, this website right here, Crypto News, I've actually covered them before in a negative way. I know they have a lot of articles that make absolutely no freaking sense, and this article, nonetheless, is, I guess nonetheless, intensifying SEC v Ripple case. What expect from XRP? Now, the article actually is not extremely bad in comparison to... No, actually, this article is also not extremely bad. Let me actually rephrase that. The articles themselves sometimes aren't that bad. It's either just titling or just poor quality in real information. In this specific case here, the title and the misinformation being spread obviously is not good. And in this specific case here, like... what they're doing is basically talking about the price, having no info actually about the lawsuit at all, just a really small section here that gives you no inside info whatsoever. So you have nothing that you're going to learn from this. There's nothing which you can get, irrespective of the SEC proceedings. That's what they throw at you. So this gives you, you have nothing on this article. It's not going to help you any single bit. Then I'm like, well, I don't really want to read more articles from that source, right? The only reason I had it open here was purely to show you guys what to look for and what to kind of ignore. This type of stuff, it ain't me, all right? And I try to always kind of push this stuff away to not show you this in videos because I don't want to show you guys bad content. All right, it's still Phil Snyder. I hope it's Snyder. Snyder. I'm hoping it's Snyder, man. I hope that's also... No, Phil Snyder, okay. Coming in with the $5 saying, appreciate all your work with all the coverage of the crypto space. Have a beer on me. Cheers. Thank you very much, Phil. You know what? I will gladly take you up on that. maybe I should. All right. And Space XRP, I know about Peter R. de Vries. Peter R. de Vries. I saw it, of course, on the news, man. That's, again, a very well-known Dutch, what do you call him? Reporter. And he's been, let's not call exactly what he's been, but he's been something in the street just now. And it's on every news outlet in the Netherlands right now. So everybody's reading up on that. And that's, the big news, the big breaking news in our country. So, all right, but moving on. I have a couple of other pieces of news that are maybe relevant, maybe not, before we get into XRP price talk. So here's a little article, which I, again, want to kind of warn you guys of. This little known token has gained 40 times more than Bitcoin today. That's surprising, right? It's like, wow. So this coin did 40 times better than Bitcoin did. Oh my days, I like that. I want to see. With more than 4,000 crypto in circulation, investors who can stomach the volatility have plenty to choose from. And what they're talking about here, guys, is Bitcoin going up by 1% and this KuCoin going up by 41%. That's what they meant. I thought, oh my days, this coin has skyrocketed today. Not the case. It's just KuCoin doing pretty good, which is still amazing. I mean, I don't have any KuCoin, but it's still an amazing, progression, I guess. Yet it kind of let me down a little bit. It's, this article ain't it, Chief. It's not my favorite piece of pie. And then, by the way, I'm going to recommend you guys one thing. Let me quickly show you guys this right here. What, people are saying clickbait? What do you mean, guys? I think the chat is very much behind, by the way. Because whenever I'm seeing... let me open it up on my phone here to see what you guys are saying. Okay, let me open up the live stream. There's 500 people watching. That is crazy, man. Okay, so now I have it live. No, you got... What do you... Whatever, man. We're just going to continue on. I'm gonna act as if I don't know. All right, because I don't know. Why are you guys saying clickbait then? On which one? On this one? On this specific article? I mean, it's clickbait, but then again, it's also not. And by the way, you guys are saying no delay. I have a little screen here. Am I able to show you guys whatever? I don't give a crap. You can see anything. It's all public. This is what I see. And sometimes this little piece is actually pretty far behind the actual stream itself. If you're wondering, this is what my dashboard looks like. This is what I see on the left. Sometimes I only have the chat box open. Sometimes I have different things open. But that is what I'm looking at, by the way. If you're wondering how much money we make during a stream, some guys say, oh, you only stream for money. That's pretty funny, huh? Okay, let's move on. Let's see, I have put everything back. But sometimes people also say you're clickbaiting. Every news article since the beginning of of time is clickbait. Yeah, of course. I mean, any news article provider wants you to click, and they will make the title in a certain way. That's actually one of the most fun facts about clickbaiting anyway. I think people are overusing the word clickbait right now because of children and because of the new YouTube generation of just making a thumbnail which is not relevant at all, which is just deception instead of clickbait. I mean, it's literally a bait to click, I guess, but it's deception, based upon deception. What we are doing here, what I'm doing all the time, is just making a title which is most attractive to people, making a thumbnail which is most attractive that is relevant to the topic at hand. But some people take that out of the perspective, perspective by saying, "Oh, you didn't talk good enough about that," or "That's not something I want you to cover." Clickbait, clickbait. All right. A controversial Bitcoin mining operation has made a New York lake so warm you'll feel like you're in a hot tub. I didn't read this article, I'm going to be honest with you. I just find the title so ridiculously funny, had to cover it. I had to just quickly put it in here, man. Greenwich is allowed to take in 139 million gallons of water and discharge 135 million gallons daily, which local residents say is heating up Seneca Lake. Huh, okay. That's pretty interesting. Local residents say a power plant is heating Seneca Lake and emitting a huge amount of greenhouse gases. The gas-fired plant is used to power at least 8,000 computers that are mining Bitcoin, and the plant's CEO says it's operating within the law and has created 31 jobs. Okay, so that's pretty funny. 8,000 computers in mining Bitcoin, 31 jobs. Yet, it's freaking 135 million gallons daily that they can discharge. What? That's a boat. I can't even fathom. How much is 135? How much gallons does a normal pool have? Let me see. How many gallons does a pool have? I don't even know exactly how much a gallon is in liters, but let's see. Okay, so this is inches or what is it called? Feet or inches. I'm not sure. Why is it all American stuff? Oh yeah, because we're using gallons. Never mind. So here it says that a 20 by 40 with an average of 4, I guess, feet depth has which is 24,000 gallons for a 20 feet by 40 feet. It's a big pool then to get 135 million gallons daily. That's a lot of water. Okay, Paul G says that he has an 18,000 gallon pool. So this is wow. That's 10,000 pools. Or am I dumb? No, I think it's let's say about 10,000 pools. Damn. Okay, but I guess I mean the lake is so warm you'll feel like you're in a hot tub. Where's the problem though? All right, I mean it's not okay. I guess I can see where the problem is coming from, but is that worth it? 8,000 Bitcoin mining computers for a freaking hot tub for a lake? Not sure, but that's a lot of water. I'm also not exactly sure where the problem lies, except for the fact that global warming might be a thing. Kurt, I didn't, as I said before, read the entire article here, so I can't not know. Kurt told CNBC that the plant has created 31 jobs. It has also donated $25,000 to Dresden Fire Department and $20,000 to the school district, the outlet reported, and paid $270,000 to local authorities in lieu of real property taxes last year, according to an economic study. The environmental impact of the plant has never been better than right now. Damn. That's peculiar. Okay, but again, let's not get too. It's just I don't know too much about this, but I just find it funny. Yusper says, didn't get notified again. We'll watch from the start now. Thanks in advance, Dusty. Yusper, I can tell you why you're not notified. It's actually, if you're wondering, by the way, because people watching YouTube, if you're subscribed to a content creator, you will only get at maximum 3 notifications a day. So that means within a span of 24 hours, you will get at maximum 3. Since I most of the time provide 3 videos a day, you'll get the notification. But if I provide a 4th, you will not get a notification for that. And since these streams are random, and I do it within a time of just posting videos within 24 hours after you've been subscribed, you will not get one. So most of the people have to just find it luckily. Or maybe because you did not get one notification before, or you just subscribed, that's why you'll get them. But that's the story behind it. Sometimes, though, notifications are just bugged. And by the way, whenever I type in XRP on my YouTube with a private tab, I will not find my own videos. You know that? So if I go to my phone right now, you guys can try this for yourself as well, and I go to the incognito tab, type in YouTube and type in XRP into YouTube. Logically speaking, I'm one of the biggest ones to talk about XRP. I should show up at, let's say, the top 7 results, right? Boom. No. When I check it out, maybe in, number 25 or something like that. I can't complain, but it's strange, I guess. It's like, why? I guess maybe because my YouTube channel got deleted a couple of weeks ago, that, YouTube doesn't like my channel as much anymore, so they're pushing it down, but still, it's strange how that works. All right, then, by the way, a lot of you guys were saying, please cover more about Solana. DeFi on Solana. Solrise raises $3.4 million for non-custodial asset management. The question I have for you guys always is, well, if you want me to cover that news, what type of video should I do it in? Like, should I make XRP dedicated videos and then a Solana dedicated video, then an ADA dedicated video, or should I just bundle things together like this live stream right now, where I just cover all the news and in one go that I think you need to know about or you might want to know about? It's really difficult to make those choices, by the way, if you're wondering, because I've done all these different things, but I never really get a clear view of what the people want, and it's quite difficult. So that's why sometimes I do live streams when I have too much news that I just have to cover that I don't really have a proper way of showing you. This is kind of what I go for then. So yeah, but with Solana and with Algorand and with Ava, the investment rounds that they've been doing over the last couple of months are just so amazing. And Matic is another one, /Polygon. Those ones I have, I guess, quote unquote, recommended on the channel before. Let's quickly say here, I don't recommend any crypto projects to buy. I am recommending things to look into. And those ones I have definitely recommended to look into, mostly on the fact that if some of these bigger companies like Coinbase Ventures are looking into it or investing into it, most of the time it's a really good ROI or a good profitable opportunity. So I always give the thumbs up on those ones. And whenever I spot them earlier, I'll tell you. I'm not talking only about Coinbase Ventures, but it's about Winklevoss, but any one of those actually. If they just say stuff, or no, so I guess I should say differently. If they invest in it, most of the time it's something to look into. At least it's worth it. Then, by the way, IBC Group moves out of China, Pavilion Hotels to accept crypto. Pretty cool. There's a little bit of a video. You can watch the video or you can read the transcript. But one thing I should actually recommend you guys to do now as well is, let me type it in here. All right, I'm going to show you guys. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I didn't actually publish the video just quite yet. All right, I have a second channel, by the way. For all of you that do not know, I have a second channel which is called 5 Minute Crypto. On this channel, I already just made 2 videos, but I haven't published them yet. One of those is going to be one of the most important videos I have ever made. Why? It basically talks about why Bitcoin is literally indestructible. And if you don't want to watch these videos, no problem. I'll tell you guys exactly what it is about. It's about the subject of here right now as well. It's about the fact that whatever regulations might come, whatever jab they might put towards it, nothing can officially get it out of the system. What do I mean with that? Well, think about it from this perspective. If China has now banned Bitcoin or banned mining, banned anything, people thought, oh, that's such a bad thing. Oh, that's so... Why? Well, just because those people cannot buy it anymore, I mean, they'll still buy it, though. I mean, it's people, they're people, and they have free choice. I mean, no, let's not go into that one. They will buy it if they want to because there's a certain way to do it. It's mostly from the perspective that, okay, Bitcoin's mining power will get such a drastic decline that the network is not safe anymore. And for a little bit, it felt that way because the mining power, or the hashing power, I should say, fell so drastically. People got worried, and that's when we saw the price drop a little bit. I'm going to say the actual institutional investors and people like me that knew or know now that all of that is just FUD and it's not in actuality anything bad, probably didn't sell it. So it's mostly just small fries selling because of some bigger pushes, which means that some guys with a lot of power or money are pushing the price down basically. And people are reacting to that, selling at a loss. Now, if that's kind of the case that people are afraid of it, then what are they afraid for? As I just said, really nothing. Why? Because even though China might have stopped all the mining power, what happened? 2 things. 1, the mining power dropped, so all those computers dropped, and so the hash rate dropped significantly. People saw that as bad. What happened, though, is it's not actually a drop forever. It's a drop for a little while. Because even though China banned it, another country has it open, so it will move to a different country. So in the end, it's a drop before an increase. But also, once the mining power drops, the hash rate drops, the difficulty also drops to make sure there's always the same amount of blocks on average, with a little bit of a deviation, but let's say about the same average in a specific amount of time. What that basically means is whatever regulations are thrown at Bitcoin, if you can't mine it anymore, if you can't do this anymore, that anymore, It will not stop it. And two things as well to say. One, same thing goes for staking. Same thing goes for anything else. They might put up some new regulation towards it. People will find a way to go around it. One thing I just saw as well. I don't have it open anymore. I think maybe I do. Let's quickly check it out. No, I don't have it open anymore. But one thing I had open, which I'll talk about in another video later today. All right, don't worry about it. Maybe tomorrow. Is what would happen to the amount of XRP that Ripple has if the lawsuit were to spiral out of control and Ripple were to have to give everything over to the SEC. So what would happen if the conclusion of the SEC is, all right, Ripple, snap it all up, give us all the XRP you got. We want it. We want to have control over your network, so give it in. Or something along those lines. Well, I've told you before, I'm going to say it again. It is impossible. Why? Well, even though Ripple might theoretically speaking want to give it over, there's two restrictions. One, there's an escrow right now. And two, if Ripple would make that transfer over to that side, the people in the XRP community, which are the validators and the nodes, would basically propose the idea to just let the XRP vanish. You might say, what does that vanish mean? It just means taking that XRP out of the circulating supply by burning it. It would most likely, 99.9% certainty, happen. So XRP cannot, I guess, maybe I shouldn't say cannot ever come into control, but the majority of XRP would never come into control of the SEC for a longer period of time. Theoretically speaking, they could have it in the control of a couple of seconds, but that would basically only be possible if the community right now were to vote to take away the escrow feature or take away the XRP that's in escrow from Ripple and, take it back out and then hand it over to Ripple for Ripple's control. Then Ripple sends it over to the SEC and then they decide to either block it or do something else. But of course, that's something which that it's maybe in theory possible, but in reality, no, it isn't. And KO also says, do you know anything about the subject with UK banks not allowed to purchase / withdraw crypto, or what is it all about? KL, don't worry about it. I have another video coming on 5-minute crypto. I have those two recorded, by the way, if you're wondering. I cannot show you just now, I think, because they're private. I'm not sure exactly how I should post it up, but two videos I have recorded are, let me read the title for you already. They are literally those two subjects. One is about the UK banks and Binance situation, and one is about this, why Bitcoin can never really... Okay, so the title is extremely important. Banks are trying to stop the Bitcoin revolution. Barclays, Binance, ransomware. And the other one is must watch. This is amazing for Bitcoin / crypto. It's just been proven Bitcoin can never be stopped. Why those titles? Because, I try my best. That's what I could come up with. All right. Raphael coming in with the... I'm not sure exactly what that even is supposed to be. Is that Romanian dollar? Freaking rupees? I'm not sure. No, it's not rupees. I'm not sure what an R dollar is. But it's like €1 worth. I'm not sure how that's supposed to work. He's basically promoting a website, I think. I'm not going to look it up. Please don't type that in until somebody can confirm what it is. So let's be a little bit careful with that. He didn't put any... Yeah, let's not. Let's be a little bit careful with that, guys. Don't just type in any link that you see in the chat box. All right. Cullen says, "Lo, I'm happy to be part of such an important legal case. Regardless, I wouldn't change a thing. Life is a risk and you only live once unless you believe in reincarnation." And Rick says, "True, but I will have the keys to it. Just making sure I send it to a ledger tied to another country so it doesn't leak back to me." Rick, one thing you're underestimating, or not overestimating, I think, is the power that they have over that. Even if your ledger is sent to your home, what are they going to do about it? So they're going to have to invade every single person's home to take out their ledgers? Yeah, no, right? No, I mean, think about it. So from that perspective, you don't have to link it to another country. That's a little bit overkill. If you have it on a ledger, you can always get away with any amount of money you have. So from that perspective, no, I think you're fine. Bess says, "What do they burn? Just the public remaking tokens?" I have no idea what you mean with that, my man. Crypto Geek says, "How are you doing?" I'm doing very well. How are you doing, Crypto Geek? All right, let's move on. Allied Payment Network to add Bitcoin to its corporate treasury as it partners with the NYDIG. Okay. Digital payments giant Allied has announced a partnership. That's pretty funny, though, right? Because it's not like they Allied, but the company's called Allied. Digital payment giant Allied has announced a partnership with the NYDIG and intends to put Bitcoin on its balance sheet. Yay! All right, good, amazing. Allied Payment Network, a digital payment provider, has announced they will put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Bitcoin is inevitable. I mean, it is. You can't really go around it. By the way, a lot of you guys are wondering what my stance is on Bitcoin. I've told you before, all right? I'm really bullish on Bitcoin. You cannot really deny that. I hold Bitcoin. For the majority of my time in crypto, I've held more in Bitcoin than in any other cryptocurrency. Some guy says, if you're afraid to click on the link posted by the guy that donated, this is what you find. Should I block the link, though? Let me quickly... If you can tell me, Vid, I will block it. Because I just don't want you guys to press links and getting your money hacked or something like that, all right? Just be careful with all those links. Please don't go to them. Not worth your thing. All right, regarding Bitcoin, I personally think that it will stay the leader for a pretty good while. So that basically means until XRP's utility kicks in, or even Ethereum utility kicks in for that information, there is most likely Bitcoin to stay at the top. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? I'll type in on Google the Satoshi Enigma, and I will not go to the actual link. Let me see. Maybe it's like a really popular thing. No, okay, we're not going to type this in, guys. Please don't press the link unless you are willing to take a little bit of a risk. Because in theory, the link sounds not too bad, but I mean, if it showed up at the top, maybe I would have checked it out, but no, I'm not going to check that out. No, it's not worth it. Don't mess around with links. Look, the Imgur I just posted, I can't see links if you put it in the chat box, my guy, because those are blocked on YouTube specifically here. Don't press links. You guys are saying you press. Don't do it. Not smart. Taking a crypto risk is different than pressing a link. That's how you... that's another video coming, by the way, today. All right? Don't worry. Another video is going to be talking about freaking scams in this crypto space. Do I have it open here? No, I do not. I have it open somewhere, which is basically talking about the XRP scams. I get 1 or 2 people every single day telling me they lost thousands of XRP to a scam. And all I could do and tell them is like, well, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think they were going to give you free money if you sent the money? Personally, I always get these Nigerian prince vibes, but a lot of people don't respond whenever I ask them what they were expecting. Rightfully so, though, because, I mean, to be honest with you, it is pretty stupid. Then again, I do understand that some people fall for it, and I will always give them the help that I can, but it's not easy. I'm also just seeing some different links here and there. I'm just trying to figure out what is bannable and what isn't. By the way, guys, if you want a cool platform to talk with other community members, you can check out the Discord. The link is in the little box down below here, most likely. So if you want that, you know where to find it, all right? You know where to find it. A little bit in the chat box somewhere, there's a Discord link. I'm not exactly sure. I'll post it in the chat box just now. You guys can kind of look into it for yourself. There we go. And by the way, the conclusion of our poll was that people said, yes, the XP lawsuit is all the show. 80% of the people said that. That's pretty interesting. All right, let's come back partially to my story about Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will stay the number one for a pretty good while until the utility kicks in for all these altcoins. And as it currently stands, Bitcoin has a really high percentage market cap dominance. And as long as that doesn't change either, well, then why would the situation change? Like, Bitcoin has stayed this way for so many years. It will only change once a drastic thing changes, and that change could be utility of different cryptos, or I guess a major ban on Bitcoin getting the mining power so low where there's uncertainty. In that meantime, until the difficulty adjusts, there could also be some big consequences and some dire consequences. But as it currently stands, no, there's not really anything specifically that I could think of that's going to take Bitcoin's dominance down, except for another altcoin run. If the altcoins go crazy, well, they take over in dominance. And if, for example, one altcoin overcaps Bitcoin's dominance, then this entire crypto as we know it is also kind of gone. You know, because for the first time that happens, that would be kind of crazy. If Ethereum, for example, or XRP overtakes Bitcoin, that would be weird. I can't even think about that. I'm like, what? And by the way, guys, if you are watching these live streams or videos and you enjoy them, just want to quickly remind you guys that pressing the like button helps a ton. I know a lot of you guys just don't mind pressing the like button, but just don't think about it. So, you know, a quick reminder here. We've been streaming for 45 minutes. I know there's been 500 to 600 people watching constantly. And if you want to help me out a little bit as well, there's been 7,000 people who pressed the stream in total, yet only 100 likes pressed. You know, maybe you want to do something about that. All right. Crypto Rover put up It looks like we are breaking down on Bitcoin. My next accumulation level target will be 32.3 thousand basically. Now, it's pretty funny that he put that up. Why? Because I've said before, even though I like crypto rover very much so, don't get me wrong, very much. I've said before that analysts will often put these things down and just change their mind a little bit later. What I mean with that is one thing you can actually do is if you scroll down a little bit here, put up a different triangle and you'll still be right. And people will say, oh yeah, no, but it was just this triangle. Here's another one. Here's another one which can really fit in perfectly. And that's also why whenever I show you these charts, I always tell you guys exactly what the honest truth behind these things is, which is as long as Bitcoin is making higher lows from a certain perspective, you can put that up into your analysis. But there's a lot of different ways which you can analyze something. Here's, for example, XRP. How do we determine a trend? Well, two main ways. We can either put a trend line over, for example, higher highs that we could choose specifically, or we can actually just follow them on our own without the trend line itself. So, for example, what we can clearly see here on the Bitcoin or the XRP chart is that, let me quickly move this. We'll make it broad. With XRP, what we saw right here was its highest high in a specific amount of time, right? That's right here, this area. What we saw later is a lower high. Now, this high right here didn't actually take that out, which means another lower high. Here we got another high. And when do you get a high? Well, after you've made a low, you get a high. You get another low, you get a high. This specific one can be invalidated, this specific point right here, because we actually did not make a lower low. And that again refers to what we are often referring to in a bull run. In a bear run, we often talk about the tips that we are seeing. In a bull run, we often talk about the support levels or the lows we are seeing. In this specific case here, what I would kind of point out is that we made a high, we made a deep low. We made another high, which tried to recoup the losses, but we basically made a low. We attempted another time, didn't break it through, and we made a new low, right? Again, we attempted it again. We made a new low, and right now we are kind of picking ourselves up, depending on whether or not we take out this level right here. So if the current pattern looks like this, well, we've made another high and another low, which basically is a continuation of this higher low pattern that we are witnessing. If, however, for right now, it basically, like prior, for example, here, would actually have taken it out like this, for example, being like this. And either retesting this level or at least going above what we saw here. Could be a little bit of a W, but most of the time it's just kind of recouping itself. And you can see this as a correction, that this was just a correction. Right now, though, we might be able to see all of this as correction, depending on when exactly we overtake new levels. And by the way, right now, you might actually say that this entire period here has actually been bear market because we have now not made a single new high for a pretty good while. You might say that. But you might also say that this was the bear market. And actually, right now, we are basically starting a new bull market because over the last couple of days, we have been making higher highs and maybe we're going to continue on with that trend. It could literally be that from here on forward, we're basically, coming back up. Then again, it all depends on your perspective and what you do with the info. Because there can be more dips, there can also be not more dips. You can keep extending this one until you actually make lower lows, right? So we can keep changing this trend line until we break this level here of about 50 cents. As of that point still though, the trend is still bullish. XRP to BTC, same type of scenario. It might kind of change along the trend line a little bit. It might not validate the same trend line anymore. But you can keep changing it until you take out specific points. Until the line goes at a slope of kind of 0. Well, you guys get that, right? Or I should say maybe 180 degrees. The same thing for all of this. Like the trend line, even though it doesn't match up perfectly with what we saw or thought before, it's still a bullish trend, but just less bullish. And in this specific case here, I wouldn't call it a trend because it's only 1 and 2 points. You only call it like from 3 points or 4. Right now, it's just kind of a coincidence. But it also depends on whether or not you... No, it definitely doesn't depend on anything. It's just 1 and 2 points. No. So yeah, this is not a real trend, but we can call it kind of a trend line because, you have 2 points, but it's not something I would really consider a strong trend. On the ADA pair, by the way, everything is looking good, which is also why ADA is a little bit of a tease right now because that crypto is doing pretty juicy, not going to lie to you. Look at that. It's pretty happy to see that. And on the Bitcoin pair, I guess it's also one of the better cryptos for right now. We had a trend from here, breached. Here we had a new trend forming, and it's still continuing on. Well, let's see. Maybe it's going to get breached like here again. Maybe it's even parallel. Not actually sure. Maybe it's going to be soon. Not sure about that, but yeah, let's see, right? What else can we tell? We're buying. I am buying. Not every day, by the way. If you guys are wondering, I tell you guys on Patreon all the time exactly when I'm going to buy, but I don't really buy all the time. I buy periodically. because I think that's going to serve me the best. And, I do that in I don't know, a pretty elaborate way, which I've explained a couple of times before in live streams as well, but not for today. Now let's quickly see what else we had here. We had XRP Crypto Wolf. Screw you, Jed. Can't wait till you have no more XRP. I found that pretty funny. 300 million XRP has just been wired to Jed McCallum once more. Yep. And by the way, the enthusiasm for XRP has gone down so ridiculously much. The amount of FUD in this space over the last couple of weeks here has been drastic. Really, it's just people getting really, really salty about the entire situation. Whaler posted that 300 million has been sent to Jed, who is a co-founder of the project, who's been selling it because he wants to sell it. Well, even though it's his money from the get-go anyway, some people call this bearish, or some people just call this an annoying thing to see. Let's go to 589 likes. Are we there already? Close. 589, almost. But no, yeah, you guys get the situation, man. Some guys are saying, you stopped singing. Who were actually there when we did the pump it up thing? Do you guys remember? And somebody asked, can we vote him out? I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, I guess you theoretically speaking can vote Jed McCallum out, but people will not do that. It's the same thing as voting Satoshi Nakamoto out of his money. Theoretically speaking, it's possible to do almost anything in a network like that, but it's not in your best interest to do so. And it basically causes some not good stuff. So people don't want that. If we were to do that, Bitcoin would kind of crumble on its own. If you could vote out the richest people in it, no rich person is going to adapt it, right? So no, they don't want to do that. No. Let's quickly see. You guys are saying me. XRP is getting relisted? No, not as it currently stands. No, I mean there's no real information regarding that, so I'm not able to tell you whether or not that's going to happen. But as it currently stands, there's no real thing that would point in that direction. So I'm not sure what to tell you. What do you guys think about the news of today, by the way? Let's actually open up CryptoPanic to see if there's any new news that I've missed. I sometimes look at this. This just came out an hour ago. Binance suspends Euro bank transfers amid regulatory heat. Oh, this is so annoying. I just made a video about how to buy XRP, and all of a sudden, boom, Binance suspends Euro bank transfers. Oof, right? I just made that video before starting the live stream. Like, okay, I'll just post the video still, though. That is freaking annoying. Oh, they can still fund their accounts with the credit or debit cards. Okay, so it doesn't really matter too much. But the bank transfer has been... What is going on here, though? I mean, Binance has been... What is going on here? There's been such a big backlash regarding Binance and the banks. Holy smokes. And by the way, for Sam asking what we're talking about in regards to greenlisting, check the start of the video. Just go on the live stream and watch the start of it. Or check this place out for yourself. Just type in New York State Department of Financial Services, virtual coin currency or virtual currencies, number of entities approved to coin use, and you'll find it. If you use coin, whatever, you'll find it. So you can also do that if you please. But what we just checking? Oh, this is right here. Breaking: Binance suspends Euro bank transfers amid regulatory heat. Oof, right? Oof. That is interesting, yet not that big a deal if you can still use credit and debit cards, I guess. But oh my days, has this been an interesting situation? Huh. Oh, look at this. Alabama congressman buys Dogecoin, Cardano, and Ethereum. That's pretty funny as well. I like that. Barry Moore has become one of the second U.S. congressmen to publicly disclose Dogecoin buys. There goes his legitimacy. If you buy Dogecoin as a congressman, I don't think that's going to do you too much good in the faith of the people. I guess because he's bought multiple crypto might be okay, but damn. Ian Clark says, BitBoy telling his listeners that he has inside information that Ripple paid millions into a South American bank. History for the researchers. Huh. I'm not sure. I mean, those people claim that they have insiders all the time. Doesn't mean they actually do have those. Let's see what else is kind of trendy right now. Let's go back to the homepage. Is trouble brewing out in China? Let's not cover that. BlockFi releases Visa rewards credit card to U.S. clients. Okay, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty good. I don't use that, but there's a wait list for 4 months. Damn. It's also not the first card to do that, but I guess it's not a bad thing. You can never have too many cards, right, that have reward programs. Swiss bank Signum becomes the first bank to offer Ethereum 2.0 staking. That's a pretty big deal. A bank to offer that. I'll cover that on 5 Minute Crypto. Don't worry about it if you want more info. All right. We'll get to that. $55 billion hedge fund Marshall Wace to start investing in crypto stablecoins. We covered this in a previous video earlier yesterday, I believe, as well. China proves Bitcoin is an unstoppable machine. We're going to cover that in a 5 Minute Crypto video. I've already done that, though. Let's see. World Economic Forum. Blockchain can help dismantle corruption. There's a good truth to that. I mean, from a certain perspective, just reading the title, right? We didn't read the articles because these are all brand new, basically. Okay, it's actually been published yesterday, but you guys get the picture. I didn't read these. From a certain perspective, blockchain technology is like one of the best counters to corruption because, well, if it's a public blockchain at that, it's out there. You can't alter it anymore unless you have more control. But then if it's a properly public decentralized blockchain, well, there's no single party that can alter that. So since it's tracked and recorded, facts are facts. You can't all of a sudden change your mind and make the facts into fiction because it is recorded already. And once it's there, it can never get out of there, which is pretty funny. You can actually put up a Bitcoin transaction, for example, and for the entire history of forever, it'll always stay there. Nobody can ever take that away. Nobody can ever take that out of history anymore. If you put a transaction right now to me or to somebody else with the title, I hate you, you can never change your mind again because it will always be there. That message will never go away anymore until, I guess, the Bitcoin gets maybe an upgrade where they, for example, were to delete an entire part of the Bitcoin history, which is theoretically speaking possible. One little concept that people don't really often talk about is actually how a good part of the blockchain could be deleted by everybody forever. It could be. It's not in anybody's best interest to do so except for file size, but maybe after, for example, 65 years, they might want to delete the first, 3/4 of the blockchain's history because they're not relevant anymore, as there's enough data to kind of verify the beginning parts. Like right now, there's so many confirmations for the earlier blocks, which is not necessary, but it's not really an interesting discussion to go over because it's not necessary. Let's see. Urgent Ethereum hard fork in 8 days. Here's what you need to know. I didn't actually know too much about I don't know about too much about that. The massive amount of affiliate links put me off. I'm not exactly sure what this is about, to be honest with you, so I will not cover that today. A BitThumb Hong Kong subsidiary reportedly faced civil lawsuit from Thai partner. A Thai firm claims that BitThumb's Hong Kong subsidiaries caused it serious damage by unilaterally halting its business in Thailand. Yeah, man, it's been an annoying situation at best, I guess. Oh, by the way, let's cover this one a little bit more. Let's go over it. You guys have been asking in the chat box, I see now. Dusty, is it still safe to get a crypto loan on Binance? Worried about my collateral coins given the secure against the loan? I'm not gonna. I can't tell you guys that. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure how crypto loans on Binance work, as I've never done that, nor will I ever do that. So, no. Is it still safe? I mean, loans are never really that safe. What can I say? All right, but here it says, regulatory constraints facing Binance have forced the popular crypto exchange to temporarily halt bank transfers denominated in euros, according to an email sent to its customers on Tuesday. Specifically, euro deposits via the Single Euro Payments Area, or SEPA, have been put on hold indefinitely due to circumstances beyond the exchange's control, Binance said in an email. Due to events beyond our control, we are temporarily suspending euro deposits via SEPA bank transfers from 8 a.m. UTC. That's freaking annoying, though, because I just made the video on that. As I just said, man, come on. Why? At least now I know before publishing the video. At least that's a pro, I guess, right? At least we know. And although Binance didn't specify the reason for temporarily halting these, the decision seems to stem from the onslaught of regulatory action against the firm. The most recent decision came a day after British financial giant Barclays announced it would no longer facilitate customers' payments to Binance after financial regulators warned users that the exchange was operating in the UK without proper license. In a follow-up with Cointelegraph, a Binance spokesperson said the exchange was disappointed by Barclays' unilateral action to block customers' payments, namely, "We are disappointed that Barclays appears to have taken unilateral action based on what appears to be an inaccurate understanding of events," which we'll cover on the 5 Minute Crypto channel. Guys, I'm going to recommend you all to check this out. I will share with you the link in the chat box here. Because it's my second channel. I post it every couple of days. From right now forward, though, I might do like a couple of posts a day as well. But they're only 5 minutes. So it's worth your time, I think. I just covered there the most important crypto news that you need to hear. It's no BS, no stupid stuff. No, only stuff that you need. And I don't have a schedule on there. Sometimes I don't post for an entire month. Sometimes I post a couple of times in a month. It'll depend. All right. Whenever I think you need some stuff, I'll tell you. Like, for example, here's a 2-week break, as you can see. But yeah, that's the way I go about it. That's the way I go about it on that channel. All right, so that was it for today's news. That's all we had. I have a couple of videos coming up today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff. This is not good for Binance. I might do that another small little video about that on 5-minute crypto as well, just to cover the situation. Not too important though. It's just one specific part. You can still put euros on there, but just through credit cards. So in the end, it's not that big a deal, right? It really isn't. It's just annoying that Ideal in the Netherlands was taken away and now SEPA as well, but whatever. That was it for today's stream. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you did, just quickly press that little subscribe button. Right now we are like hovering at about 25,000 for the longest time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you watch my content regularly. It might be worth it. And also make sure you press that like button if you want to support the channel. You don't have to, but it just works. It just helps. Why not? And I'll see you guys again a little bit later today, right? Cool that you guys all chipped in and checked out the video, a live stream I should say. And I'll see you guys again in a little bit, all right? So once more, thank you all so much for checking out, and see you guys again.